Have you ever stopped to think about how well you actually know the people closest to you? I mean, really know them. Because sometimes the person right beside you, the one who seems completely normal, they might be living a whole other life, a truly dark one. Today we're going into a story that honestly it challenges everything. It's about Sean Vincent Gillis. His wife described him as cute and kind, like a little bear, but secretly he was a serial killer. Brutal murders, 8 victims, and the details, they get incredibly disturbing. Necrophilia, even cannibalism. So today we're peeling back the layers on this man, Sean Vincent Gillis. We'll follow his story from his childhood, look at how the depravity escalated, and then the mindset he revealed after he was caught. It's just shocking.
It really is profoundly unsettling. You have this facade of normalcy, right?
Oh, yeah.
But underneath such extreme violence. This case gives us a chilling look into, well, the hidden monsters that can sometimes be right there among us.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Sean Vincent Gillis, born June 24th, 1962, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His childhood was, well, challenging, is putting it mildly. His father, Norman, suffered from chronic alcoholism, severe mental illness. He was abusive towards Sean's mother, Yvonne, and towards Sean himself. There's this horrific detail. Norman actually pointed a gun at young Sean's head. Imagine that.
That kind of early trauma, the violence, the instability, especially from a parent, it can fundamentally warp a child's development, the abandonment, the fear. It often plants seeds of rage and insecurity that can grow in really destructive ways later on.
Yeah. Norman eventually left. Didn't pull the trigger that time, thankfully. Yvonne raised Sean alone. She worked at a local TV station. Sean seemed, outwardly okay with her, appreciative even. But neighbors, they told a different story. Said he was kind of a bully. Yvonne saw him as normal, though. Pointed to his hobbies, like building robots, model cars. Said he was happy. Her discipline wasn't violent either, usually just taking away TV privileges.
Yeah.
Then comes high school. Region Forest High. And this is where things start to look different. A friend, John Green, remembered him initially as smart, kind, funny, good grades, respectful.
But that's often the pattern, isn't it? This divergence, the ability to maintain that good kid mask while something darker is stirring underneath, really makes you wonder what was going on inside his head during those years.
Definitely. He fell in with a different crowd. Got interested in satanic cults. They didn't sacrifice anything, apparently, but they watched these rituals. Found it amusing somehow. Sean became a sort of gang leader, started getting into trouble fights, theft, harassing people, smoking marijuana. His mom knew nothing about this part, and his temper. Neighbors reported him just raging. One time, 3 a.m., kicking cans, swearing. When asked why, he said he was just angry, frustrated he didn't have a girlfriend yet. Chilling, really. Around 17, there was a brief reconciliation with his father, Norman, at his grandfather's funeral. Norman tried to be more involved for a bit, but then Sean found something. Pornographic photos of men, hidden away. Realizing his father was gay, it disgusted Sean deeply. He cut off contact completely. Wouldn't see him again, even when Norman needed support later. After high school, Sean worked various jobs. Convenience store clerk, stuff like that, found it boring. And that boredom, it seemed to curdle into these dark online obsessions. He started spending hours, often while he was supposed to be working, on the dark web, watching extreme pornography, violence, gore, rape videos, even images of mutilated bodies.
And it's probably not a coincidence that this really ramped up around 1992. That's when his mother moved to Atlanta. Even though she still supported him financially, he was left behind. That feeling of abandonment, combined with his existing issues, it likely pushed him deeper into that dark online world, desensitizing him, fueling fantasies.
Right. And that same year, 1992, he's 30. He nearly gets arrested for breaking into a woman's house. He lies his way out of it, says he's looking for his cat. A cat he didn't even have. Police just give him a warning. No formal booking, no DNA sample taken, a huge missed opportunity looking back.
Yeah.
Then, 1994, he meets Terry Simoneau. A friend introduced them. She saw him as nerdy, safe, her safe zone, she called him. There was this really strange incident early on. She kind of tested him, slapped him, he cried, said men shouldn't hit women, women shouldn't hit men. And somehow, that reassured her, made her feel safe with him.
It's just deeply unsettling, that contrast. His words versus his hidden reality. Yeah. And the fact that Terry saw other disturbing things, the porn addiction, him showing her pictures of corpses and sort of chuckling about it but overlooks them because he treated her well. I mean, it really speaks to how manipulative these individuals can be. They compartmentalize so effectively.
And now, we have to get into the murders. It's a horrifying timeline, and you see the depravity just escalate. Victim number 1. Ann Bryant. March 21st, 1994. She was 81 years old, a musician in a nursing home. Her door was left open for safety reasons. Sean went in around 3 a.m., his stated reason. Terry wouldn't have sex with him, so he decided to rape Ann. When she screamed, he used a hunting knife, slit her throat, stabbed her 47 times, chest, genitals, neck, face, almost decapitated her, then dismembered her body. And his motivation. He said he idolized another serial killer, Derek Todd Lee, wanted to be better than him, collected news clippings about Lee's victims, Ann's children, Rachel and John Elliott. They were devastated, obviously, but forensics back then were limited. No justice for years. And Sean, he lives just a mile away, worked right across the street from the nursing home, totally unsuspected. 5 years go by. January 4, 1999. Victim number 2, Catherine Hall. She was a black woman, struggling with addiction, involved in prostitution and dealing, a mother. Sean drove her to a field, tried to strangle her with a zip tie. She fought back, so he stabbed her 16 times, neck, face, left eye, and then the post-mortem acts were just horrific. Took her clothes off, stomped on her body, raped the corpse, necrophilia, dismembered her, cut out her genitals, buttocks, stabbed her 21 more times after death. Parts of her body were found later. Police found white male hair in her mouth. Got DNA, but no match in the system because Sean hadn't been profiled. May 30, 1999. Victim 3, Hardy Schmidt. 52 years old, a kind woman, a marathon runner. He stalked her for 3 weeks, watched her running routine. Then one morning, he deliberately hit her with his car, forced her inside, used a zip tie, drove her to a park, raped her, killed her, and then he drove home with her body in the back of his white Chevy Cavalier. Terry noticed a smell. He told her it was just a dead squirrel he'd hit. Later, he dumped Hardy's body in a stream miles away. Her husband, Bob, was tormented. He knew something was wrong, that she would just fall into a ditch, but police didn't listen initially. November 12, 1999, victim 4, Joyce Williams, a prostitute who loved singing. He picked her up. They actually sang together in the car. Then he strangled her. And this is where it escalates even further. Necrocannibalism. He raped her corpse, dismembered it, and then bit and ate parts of her body, specifically her nipples. He dumped her remains in trash bags. January 2000, victim 5, Lillian Robinson, another prostitute, wanted to go to church often, strangled her with a zip tie, took the body home. Terry almost walked in on him. He had to act, fast-performed oral sex on the corpse, masturbated quickly. Then he dumped her body just 2 miles from where Derek Todd Lee had left one of his victims. That obsession, that competition, it was still there. October 2000. Victim 6, Marilyn Neville, also a prostitute. He encountered her while visiting his niece, Kristen, someone he supposedly loved like a daughter. Dropped the niece off, went back, picked up Marilyn, tried to strangle her with a necktie. She managed to escape briefly. He chased her down, hit her with a metal bar, then finished strangling her. This is deeply disturbing. He took her body, bathed it after the murder and rape, then disposed of it near a dam. Her body wasn't found for years, not until he confessed.
It's interesting, that 3-year gap after Marilyn Neville, it lines up almost exactly with Derek Todd Lee being active and then arrested in May 2003. You'd think Lee's capture might deter someone like Gillis, but it seems like it might have been the opposite, like an opening or maybe even a challenge to step up.
Right. So the public in Baton Rouge felt a sense of relief when Lee was caught. They thought the nightmare was over. They had no idea another killer, Sean Gillis, was still out there, and that some of the victims they mourned weren't Lee's at all. October 2003, just months after Lee's arrest. Victim 7, Joni Mae Williams, 45 years old. She'd actually worked as a housekeeper for Sean previously, had fallen into prostitution later. He beat her, strangled her, raped her corpse, and then he cut off her hands, took them as souvenirs, posed her body, took 45 photos, kept her corpse in his car for over a month before dumping it. Detective Brian White noted how precisely the hands were cut, said it suggested an experienced killer. Fear gripped Baton Rouge again. They knew Lee wasn't the only one. February 26, 2004, victim 8, the final one, Dawn Johnston, 43, a mother, also involved in prostitution. The brutality here was just extreme. Rape, strangulation, evisceration. He removed her left nipple, carved out a piece of tattooed skin from her thigh, cut off her left arm. Another souvenir for self-gratification. Took 45 photos of the mutilated body, dumped her remains in a drainage ditch.
But this time, something was different. This was the beginning of the end for him. Police found parts of Donna's body near a garbage pile. And there, in the mud, tire tracks, unique tire tracks. They traced them to a specific Goodyear tire model, only made between 2000 and 2003. Only have 90 sold in the whole Baton Rouge area.
That's fantastic police work, taking a seemingly small detail like a tire track and using databases to narrow it down. They identified around 200 owners of vehicles that might have had those tires in the region, contacted every one of them, and one of those names was Sean Gillis.
Detective Jeff Madvin interviewed Sean as part of that tire owner canvas. And Sean. He acted strangely right away. Casually admitted he knew Donna, that she'd been in his car. Then he volunteered, bizarrely, that he'd driven past the dump site where parts were found just 6 days prior. Claimed he was just driving around. Madvin said he knew instantly something was wrong. Sean seemed way too casual, almost like he was playing a game. That was it. They got his DNA during that interview, and it matched Donna Johnston's case. Then they ran it against the other cold cases. Match. Catherine Hall. Match. Joni Mary Williams. They had him. The real killer who'd been terrorizing Baton Rouge alongside Derek Toddley. April 29, 2004. 1:30 a.m. SWAT team hits his house. Arrested him on the spot. Terrio was there. Saw the whole thing. Utter shock. Heartbreak. The man she saw as her safe zone, her little bear. She realized she never knew him at all.
And the evidence inside the house was just overwhelming. Metal cutters, knives, machetes, zip ties. His computers were full of horrific files, best if not beheading and hacking, Manson murders, snuff films, articles about Derek Todd Lee, a whole file dedicated to him. Sean admitted he collected it, wanted to win against Lee. And the most horrifying part, they found the body parts. Hands, arms, kept as trophies, souvenirs for his gratification, just sickening.
His arrest and eventual confession finally brought some answers, at least, to the families of Ann Bryan and Hardy Schmidt. Years they'd waited. Bob Schmidt, Artie's husband, refused to meet Sean, said Sean wouldn't understand his pain anyway. Rachel Bryan, Ann's daughter, felt this mix of anger but also relief. Knowing who really killed her mother, even if it relied heavily on his confession, the truth was finally known. And Sean. He even wrote a letter to Tammy Prepera, a friend of Donna Johnston's, described Donna's death, said she died that night really fast. I don't think she even knew what was happening. About a minute and a half she was gone. He wrote, honestly, her last words were, I can't breathe. I'm not really sure why I did it. I'm bad. Loveless, merciless, faithless, hopeless. Tammy was devastated by the letter. Sadly, she passed away from HIV a few months later. Then came the interviews, May 2004. Sean just boasted about it all, called it a chess game against the police, said, I'm a chess master, you'll never win against me. Admitted his only mistake was letting them get his DNA. He talked about his strategy.
Choosing diverse victims, different ages, races, backgrounds specifically to confuse the police. And he made this utterly warped claim that he treated his victims with utmost respect before killing them, said he treated them like his wife, praised himself during the interviews. It's unbelievable.
The interviewers were horrified. They described him laughing, smiling, even cracking jokes while detailing these horrific acts of murder and dismemberment. They said they had never seen a killer take such callous pride in what they'd done. Zero remorse. Zero empathy.
Some of his quotes, they just stick with you. I'm sorry I hurt people, but I'll do it again if you let me roam the streets. I'll find someone and kill them before the sun goes down. Or this one. At that moment, I thought this was my universe and I was God. And saying morality just didn't matter to him anymore.
When asked why he dismembered Catherine Hall's private parts, his explanation was just ice cold. He said he just wanted to know what it would look like if he cut it open. Like, it shows that complete objectification, treating people like things to experiment on. The prosecutor called those taped confessions the nails in Sean's coffin. He was right.
The trial started July 21st, 2008. Many of the families were there. Lawrence Williams, Joni Moe's daughter, actually spoke to Sean beforehand. Asked him why. He just shrugged. Said he was sorry he got caught. Not sorry for the murders, just sorry he lost the game. Donna Johnston's son, Justin Bennett, told reporters he was there for his mother, not for Sean. A powerful statement. Sean's mother, Yvonne, testified. She just stuck to the facts, didn't try to defend him. And then Sean, he addressed his mother in court, said something absolutely staggering. I admit, Mother, I wanted to have sex with you, but I was angry that you left me. But I also know that when I was a child, you loved me very much. Just unbelievable.
That statement alone, delivered so coldly, on top of everything else, it cemented the diagnosis. Extreme psychopathy, deeply disturbed, twisted by that early abandonment, utterly lacking in empathy or remorse.
There were calls for the death penalty, naturally. But his confessions, which did solve those other cold cases like Ann Bryan's and Hardy Schmidt's, they played a role. He received multiple life sentences, no possibility of parole. He's currently in solitary confinement at Louisiana State Penitentiary, mostly for his own protection. And the final irony. He apparently chooses to stay in his cell most of the time, even when he could have yard time. Maybe that's his version of punishment for losing his sick game. So that's the story of Sean Vincent Gillis, a truly terrifying look at a predator who hid right out in the open. The duality is just shocking. The little bear his wife saw, and the monster he truly was. The horror his victims and their families went through is unimaginable.
It really leaves you with a disturbing question, doesn't it? In a world where appearances can be so incredibly deceiving, how can we ever truly know what darkness might be hiding just beneath the surface?
If this deep dive was as unsettling for you as it was for us, please do remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Horror Doc channel. We'll keep bringing you these chilling true crime stories. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, please take care.